I stole a healthy one. I'm gonna sit next to James.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I haven't seen them. Unless he's already gone or unless he's can't go. But there's a price for it.
Pull it down in there.
Yeah.
You'll get hot.
Okay, let's call this meeting to order, please. It is 7:02 on January 13th, 2026. Please join us in the pledge of allegiance.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please.
Jonathan?
Here.
Lori?
Here.
Trudy? Here. Lori, here, we have a forum. Board member conflict of interest statement? None? Okay, public comment on agenda items is next. However, I will ask, in an effort to expedite this meeting and not keep us here all night, if you have sent your email regarding the Jakeway project and or your letters of support, we have all received them. We have all read them. Please do not take the stand. If you have not, please feel free to do so. With that having been said, public comment on agenda items is open. Yes, ma'am.
Good evening. My name is Mary Bauer. We've had a house here since 1990 and moved up here full-time 2019. And remember when Mr. Jakeway came to our board meeting when my husband was clerk, and he proceeded to tell the story about why he decided to do this project, and it was very touching to me. He and his daughter, when she was 14, decided that they wanted to do something with this piece of property that they had, and they always talked about it. And when she got to Northwood, she designed a whole design for this business that she thought would be really good for this particular piece of property. And it was so well done that she won a scholarship from Northwood University for this. And she's still there, she's 21, and she's just really excited about this. And his grandfather started this business. And so it's a generational business. And she wants to carry the torch and come here and move back here, which I wish more of our kids could come back here and live here if they had jobs to offer. And that's why I'm a big proponent of this particular project. It's going to bring jobs and just another beautiful feature to our community. And I just want the board to understand that. So thank you.
Anyone else who has it? Yes, sir.
I'm not sure, you said if you sent letters regarding the Jacob, which I did not. I did send a letter regarding the applicants for the township vacancy.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I'm not sure exactly, put it this way. Just wanted to see equal word of support for Jan Dillahay. I think she has a skill set and background which are conducive, which are helpful to you guys. You have some major projects.
We've gotten your letter. Thanks, Scott.
Take it.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Anyone else with Public comment? Yes, ma'am.
I also want to talk about this.
Okay.
Turn the mic on. There it goes.
Yeah, I just did. I also want to talk about the Trout Town project. First, I want to be very clear at the outset that as a planning commissioner, I did support this project and voted in favor of it. I continue to believe that overall this proposal is an important improvement over what exists at the site today. That said, there are some specific aspects of the project that I don't support, and I want to explain those concerns clearly. But before doing that, I also want to address and correct several rumors that have been circulating on social media. So clearing up the rumors. One, Trudy and the board is holding up the project. That is not true. Neither the supervisor nor the board is holding anything up because the township does not have its own planning commission or zoning ordinance. Any new construction has to go through the county planning commission. Only the county has the authority to approve or deny projects based on county zoning ordinance. Number two, the two projects were approved unanimously by the county planning commission. That is true. They were approved, but with conditions, and that distinction matters. The conditions were minor and administrative, that's number three. They were not. The original staff report included 11 conditions for the retail food truck site and front Straits Highway, and 10 conditions for the resort motel site plan. The planning commission amended those conditions to require identification of the locations of historic septic tanks, wells, drain fields on a printed plan prior to construction, an Eagle stormwater permit, and a MDOT driveway permits. As a result, Mr. Jakeway still has significant work ahead of him. He's got some heavy lifting to do to get through these. In addition to meeting the general conditions of approval, he must also obtain those permits and the county road commission permits. The context for my concerns. For transparency, I serve on the board of Burt Lake Preservation Association and was appointed president in December. Standing here today to raise concerns about watershed protection and a development project is not where I expected to be. But here we are, and it's not the first time. I do want to, can I hand these out?
You want some help? You need help?
There's just one for each of you.
So, last year, the Tip of the Mitt Watershed Council and the Mullet Area Preservation Society maps contacted the LPA, the township, and the county road commission after discovering there were unacceptable levels of salt-related chemicals in the Little Sturgeon and the Indian Rivers. The source, I'm sure you can comment for that too.
Yeah.
The source was believed to be excess snow removed from the roads and sidewalks that was dumped in Marina Park by both entities, the CCRC and the township. So even though there was some filtration, road salt and de-icing chemicals were still leaching into the rivers. The groups worked together to identify a safer alternative location. This is relevant because it demonstrates that filtration alone does not necessarily prevent contamination of our waterways. And then there's the McDonald's precedents, and I gave you the plan for that. This also mirrors what occurred at the McDonald's project. On September 3rd, the Planning Commission tabled the project until October 22nd because the original stormwater plant did not meet MDOT requirements. The initial proposal was to divert stormwater into the deep ditches along 68, which drained directly into the river. MDOT rejected that approach and made it clear that no additional stormwater would be allowed to discharge into those ditches. So they revised the plan, and you'll notice a long tube on that drawing. That is a 68,000 gallon chamber detention system. It allows 0.5 0.05 gallons per second during a 2-year storm event and a 1.05 gallons per second during a 100 storm year event. That system is designed to handle that 100-year storm event. You have the plan. This example is important because it shows that significant steps were required to take.
Point of order.
Madam Chair, point of order. I believe their meeting minutes are held just in minutes of now. I'm sorry, I know you're commissioner, but point of order for procedure.
I don't have that much more to go. Okay, that's fine.
Anyone else? If you've already sent your letter of support, which is one that you have. Jakeway? With the Jakeway North Star project?
I didn't sign for them.
I thought I saw it in here.
Just to introduce myself, my name is Sharon Lang. I'm Sheboygan County's Economic Development Coordinator. I'm also on the Board of Directors for the Northern Lakes Economic Alliance. That's a 4-county board.
Gotcha. Thank you.
That went to the MEDC now.
But it was forwarded to me as well, and I shared it with the board.
That went to the MEDC.
We'd like to hear it.
Point of order also, procedurally, you may not deny public comment.
Again, proceed with your comment.
I also serve on the Northern Lakes Economic Alliance Board and the Northeastern Michigan Council of Governments, so that's 11 counties. And actually, I just was stopping in to congratulate the community. I usually do letters of support. I've supported your sewer project, broadband, congressional letters of support, state appropriations, so always come in with a positive something to say. And in your agenda, there is this thing for the RAP program, and the first thing is local support and match. These are the requirements that are on here. All submissions must include a letter of support from your local economic development organization. That's me. And I sent my letter 13 months ago, supporting Mr. Jakeway's project. I started working with him in the beginning. I'm really proud to do so and proud to do that for your community. And the second letter is one from your highest municipal local official, such as city manager, mayor, or township supervisor. So what I hope is that your letter will join mine in going to the MEDC that I was proud to write. And even though I sent this to them in December 12th, 2024, not to you, I am going to read it until my time's up. As Sheboygan County's Economic Development Coordinator, I first had the privilege of meeting Mr. Jakeway in March of 23. At that time, he was beginning to explore the feasibility of expanding his long-standing Indian River family business. I then connected the project with the MEDC and the NLEA to support and guide the programs and opportunities available for such a wonderful undertaking. Among our EDC priorities in Sheboygan County are new business attraction, business retention, bringing new interests for growth, but also recognizing and supporting the value of those who are already here. The Trout Town Resort project hits the bullseye on all marks, adding new jobs and investment as well as strengthening a tried and true, long-standing anchor business in this community. Paired with a dramatic rehabilitation and activation of a dilapidated brownfield site, this project is an extraordinary win. It is without reservation that Sheboygan County EDC supports Trout Town Resort project and its application for the MEDC RAP funding. It views the opportunity as a significant contribution to the building blocks of Tuscarora Township and our best wishes for their strengthening foundation. So actually,
Any other public comment? You're good.
Okay. My name is Kim Pearson. I am a retired trustee that was on the board last, and I was here when Mr. Jakeway brought all the information to the board and explained it to us. Very well received, very well laid out. He definitely had all of his ducks in a row. The things that he has to overcome, the situation that may be obstacles in his way, I'm sure he's very capable of it. He's put a lot of money, a lot of time, a lot of effort into it. And he wants to move forward with this project. Anyone that looks at that down there can see what an eyesore it is. And you come down Main Street of Indian River and you see that, and it's just a big turnoff. And he wants to do something really nice, and it's gonna bring more jobs and more growth to our community. And I can't see where this project should be held up in any way, shape, or form, especially when he has the means to do it. So I hope that you guys will take this into consideration and get this pushed through the door and get it going in the way that it should. Okay?
Thank you.
My name is Ruth Hamilton. I just wanted to bring up a couple concerns people in the surrounding neighborhoods have. Our Sturgeon River concerns include the impact from the storm drains, the erosion from the loss of trees, increased boat traffic on the river, and any potential negative effects on this blue ribbon trout stream. We just were questioning if all environmental approvals have been received and what steps will be taken to ensure that the river will not be harmed in any way. Another concern that we have in the area is about noise, and we wondered what are the plans to address neighborhood noise concern? Who enforces the existing township noise ordinance, and will they be available to address any complaints like 10 o'clock at night afterwards if somebody over there is rowdy and making all kinds of noise? We don't know if we'll be able to call anybody then, because if somebody comes over after it's over, it's gonna be too late to do anything about it. The last thing with that we were just questioning about, we're just a little confused about. We had seen on a Facebook post that said MEDC requires a letter of support from the township, or the project will not be funded. So we just were questioning what is the funding and who does the funding for this?
So, thank you. Any other questions? Public comment?
I have just one. My name is Julianne Roush, and I am a neighbor just down the river from the new project that I'm very excited about. But my next door neighbors who are adjacent to the Jakeways property have been asking about privacy. And I came to talk to them about there's gonna be a privacy fence, will there be some noise abatement? And they weren't unable to come tonight, they're out of town. So that was my biggest question is asking about the privacy with the next door neighbors.
Sure. Yeah. Public comment?
My name is Jeff Milner, resident here for 33 years and a taxpayer. Jakeways are friends of ours, and I just want to support all the positive things that have been said already. The lady that talked about Lainey's dream kind of stole my thunder. But I do know that this has been a dream of their daughter for a long, long time. And Jeff and Brooke and his family have spent years and countless hours and dollars putting a lot of thought into this. I will tell you that I work hand in hand with him on a weekly basis, and I would assure you that your concerns will be met. Everything that they do is top notch, very professional. And if I can be a part of that project, I would be proud to say we have our name on it. Working in the trades, I just want to say that my family supports it 100%. I have 19 employees that work for me that will be greatly affected by this. They all support it. I understand that there's going to be little concerns, but I truly think, as a Tuscarora Township resident, and everybody here that supports them, we should be rolling out the red carpet for these folks. I mean, truly. I'm 58 years old. I started coming here when I was 3. And all I can remember is it was ducks and a lot of retired people. And there's nothing wrong with that, right? I don't want to offend anybody. There's nothing wrong with that. But at some point, we do have to make this a destination for people, and we have to make it, which, there's a lot of stuff that's good here. That's people come here to see, but I still go down Main Street and I still think to myself, wow, there's still businesses struggling a little bit. I mean, we've made huge leaps and bounds. Even though this project is slightly out of our downtown area, I mean, it started as a homeless place. We had to get homeless people out of there so he could tear the building down. I mean, just think of what it would look like in a few years. And Trudy, you and I talked. I appreciate the time you gave me. Please support him and his family. Write the letter. Thank you.
I just have one question about the abatement.
Yes.
I read on the Nasty Post, and it said the school will not be affected yet. What does that mean?
The school, my understanding is with a tax abatement, which was granted in 2024, a 10-year tax abatement for the new endeavor, that the school will get their taxes on the new endeavor. The township will wait for 10 years before they will receive.
So the school district is not gonna lose any money with him doing this?
Nobody's losing any money.
Okay, I just wanna make sure because that concerns me. Taking money from my kids.
Any other questions?
Judy, do you have your mic on?
Oh,
Thank you.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, thank you.
okay, any other final public comments? Okay, public comments are closed, 7:23-ish. Approval of meeting agenda. I know we have some changes here. Are you not working?
I'd like to add, under old business, section D, fireworks.
And I will add section E, parks, tractor, lease. And I'd also like to move the FOIA policy change, item 9A to 9F. That moves Trout Town up to item A. And then trustee applicants and interview would then be B. Okay. I'm sorry,
Fireworks is C,
I should make that
fireworks
first.
is D.
We're good.
When we get to old business, we'll begin with Trout Town. We'll then move on to trustee applicants, fireworks, parks, tractor, FOIA last. All on the same page? Okay. Any other changes? May we have a motion to approve the amended agenda?
I'll make that motion.
Thank you. All in favor? Say aye. Opposed? Yeah. Okay, there you go. Okay, so motion carries. Approval of previous meetings minutes from December 17th, 2025, which is a special meeting. Any changes?
I move that we approve the meeting minutes from last special meeting, December 17th, as presented.
Support?
I'll second it.
All in favor? Aye. Motion carries. All right. Reports, Mr. Corporon.
Good evening, Steve Cooper. I'm Performance Engineers, the contract engineering firm for the township. Here to talk about the sewers. Pretty quiet right now. There's been no work since December when Grand Traverse Construction finished up their work at the wastewater plant. You have their pay request for that work on your agenda tonight, and then a change order extending the final completion date to towards the end of June. All their work's done, just have punch list items. They have a little bit of paving to do up around the building, some minor restoration work and some reseeding, and some touch-up exterior painting. None of that can be done right now. It'll have to be done in the spring. But things are up and running fine there. The other contractors, the phase one contractors, Matt's just has mostly grinder pumps to keep putting in individual homes. They'll be scheduling those with people starting again in the spring. They finally had to shut down a few weeks ago due to it being frozen out for the winter. I forget the exact number. We have over 40 hooked up to the system now, though most of those are winter hookups, so I mean seasonal homes. But I checked all the lift stations today. Everything seems to be working fine at those. Elmer's just has the upgrades to do over at the Arthur Street lift station in the spring, and we'll be done with that. Walton will probably be starting March or April, depending on when frost laws come off, working up on phase two again down to the south part. So I don't expect any work for the next couple of months. We are working on, this is the bid documents for the addition for the wastewater plant. Because it's EPA BABA money, the same rules apply as for the whole $4 million project, even though this one's gonna be a fraction of that. But that's why, the federal government, one size fits all, so that's why this is a big package, but you'll see that soon, so we can get that on the street, to get that work underway. The other things we've been working on most in these last couple of weeks is trying to get the finances cleared up after the government shutdown. USDA is all caught up. All the contractors have been paid for the USDA funding portions of the projects. EPA is almost caught up. Sounds like tomorrow it should be submitted and approved for the one from last month. Then there'll be one for next, we'll be approving tonight, hopefully. That'll be submitted in probably about a week now that we got that ironed out. The township and I are still working with Eagle on trying to get caught up on the 3 pending pay requests for those. We really want to get the contractors paid for that. But there's really nothing controversial on those, that pay request or the change order, unless you need me to stick around for when you get to that or get any questions now, I'll be more than happy to answer.
I don't have any board. No.
Had a good meeting tonight. I'll be back next month too. Even though there's not much going on, it's still a good information exchange. A lot of the talk tonight at the sewer meeting was on phase 3, getting how they need to get organized and get the petition process going, which is the next step for that. So
I don't have any questions.
all right, thank you. Sounds like you got bigger fish to fry tonight, so I'm gonna get out of this.
Wise. Thank you, Steve. Okay. Yeah. Okay, bills.
On the invoice register, we have 80 bills in the total of, or 80 invoices in the total of $107,918.03.
Any questions on the bills? Do we have a motion to pay bills, approve pay bills?
Yes, I'll make a motion that we approve.
Support?
I'll second it.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Treasurer's report.
Since we do have a big agenda, the only thing I want to remind people, the U.S. Postal Service changed their postmark rules. So before, if your tax bill was postmarked before February 15th and I received it afterwards, I still gave you credit for giving it to me on the 15th. But now local post offices are not postmarking anything. It's waiting till it gets down to Grand Rapids, they'll postmark it. So if you're that person that likes to put it in the mail at the last minute, please make sure you go in when the post office is open and have them hand stamp it for you. They will do that, but you can't just put it in the mailbox at midnight. It's property taxes, but also your IRS taxes too. Same rules apply. You're gonna have to get it hand stamped if you're a last minute person. But other than that, I don't have anything else really to report. Other than it's a good thing I just deposited $300,000, so you can pay those $107,000 with a bill. And also, I would like to give the Tuscarora Township Fire Department their first installment.
Yeah. Any questions on that? The treasurer's report? Do we have a motion to accept that report? I'll make that motion. Support. All in favor to accept the report, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Laura. I'm sorry, Chris, I'm mumbling. Correspondence, a lot of correspondence. A lot of correspondence, which has been fun. Airport, it's closed down for the most part. I mean, you can still get airplanes in and out. We closed down the restroom portion to prevent a freeze like we had last year. DDA, I don't believe we have a DDA. We're still working on the pathway pursuing that. That is out for bid, not getting much activity there. FOIA requests, we've had 3. Library.
Hello, everybody. I'm Kelsey. I'm the director of the library. And I'm just going to share a few events. So just as a reminder, we are doing our winter reading program right now. You can pick up a program booklet it's a bookmark at the library. It's very short, I promise. It's very doable. And if you turn in the bookmark by February 7th, then you're in the drawing to win one of our grand prizes. They're all very cozy for winter. We're also doing a movie matinee this Friday here in this room, 1 to 3 p.m. We're watching Citizen Kane, and that's about 2 hours. Popcorn, snacks, and water will be provided. You can also bring your own. You can bring your own chairs, so you don't have to sit in these ones. It's totally up to you. And you can just walk in. There's no sign up for that. We also are doing a few new things this January. So we're doing a speed friending event, which is like totally new. Making friends as an adult can be hard. And so whether you recently graduated, moved to a new area, or you're simply seeking to expand your social circle, speed friending might be the answer. This event offers a relaxed atmosphere with a speed dating-like setup, but no dating and no romance. Friends only. So engage in guided one-on-one conversations followed by opportunities to socialize and enjoy some snacks. It is adults only, so we can meet people in our own age range, and registration is required because you do need to be an adult. New Year's resolution support group is another new thing we're doing. So you can share your progress and struggles with others as you embark on the new year. You can receive guidance, stay accountable with your goals. They'll give some suggestions for how to stay accountable with goals and share what you'd like to experience in 2026. You can sign up for this, but I really encourage just come in and enjoy the group. And I didn't give dates on this. So the movie matinee was this Friday, and that is 1 to 3. The speed friending event is next Wednesday, the 21st, 6 to 8 p.m. So it's an after hours in here. And then the New Year's resolution support group is Thursday, January 29th, 6 to 7 p.m. in the library. That's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you. Parks. Stacy.
Hello, I'm Stacy Poole. I'm the chairperson of the Tuscarora Township Parks Commission. We discussed upcoming projects and priorities for the year ahead, including the need to look at repairing or replacing the wall at DeVoe Beach. That's a major issue that's going on. We also voted to allow a kiosk to be installed at the Green Docks at no cost to the township.
The kiosk will include a QR code that visitors can scan to learn about the history behind the naming of the green docks. Jane McGinnis gave us an amazing presentation on it at our meeting. I was very impressed. I've lived here for 56 years and I never knew why it was called the Green Docks. I've asked my grandkids if they knew why it was called Green Docks, and I did not know until we had this meeting. She presented an excellent video and shared historical information on the topic. The presentation was well received and provided insight into a question many residents have wondered about for years. So Jane is going to be in charge of that and getting that set up. And again, it's no cost to the township whatsoever. The Parks Commission recommends the hiring of Leonard Simon for the Parks Department and respectfully requests approval as soon as possible so Doug can contact him and move forward with the hiring process. We would also like to give a huge shout out to our parks crew and the Sheboygan County Road Commission for working so early in the morning to remove snow in downtown Indian River. It was greatly appreciated. And I think that's all. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, we can vote on that now. Did you have a budget limit on that? Is Leonard going to be?
It would be the same as what Jimmy was getting paid.
But as far as is he up to how many hours a week? 40?
Yeah, everything is to replace Jamie Zenke.
Oh, here it is. So $18 an hour, up to 40 hours a week. And I would suggest, the new budget year is coming. Do we anticipate him starting when? You know?
As soon as possible. It's all contingent on, okay.
Snow or the board?
I think board,
Okay.
my understanding. I'm going to contact them.
Do we have a motion on that?
I'll support it.
So we have motion and support. Do you have any discussion, questions?
So this isn't a added employee, this is just to replace
Correct.
somebody that quit or got fired.
Correct.
Okay. And the budget does seem fit as far as your knowledge that.
Yes, we had it
This is supported.
budgeted in to hire another full-time person, and we did, and then he found a different position. I believe it was before Thanksgiving, so he's been gone for that long.
The budget was built for this.
Correct.
Any other discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Thank you. Police chief. Chief. Where'd we lose it? There you are.
I'm
Hi.
back here in the corner. So I got some 2025 stats for you. The year 2025, we responded to 2,396 complaints. We arrested 61 bench warrants, 75 misdemeanor arrests, 88 traffic arrests, 18 felony arrests. We gave 2,316 verbal warnings and 279 citations were written. Last winter, there were 33 snowmobile citations, 16 of which were written on our sidewalks. And that has dropped down tremendously, so that's a good thing. And I thank Parks and Rec for the signs that they've been putting out. That's been very, very helpful. So last month I got up here, I was super excited because we had found a new hire. That did not work out. So we are on the search again for another full-time officer. Anybody out there knows anybody looking to get into law enforcement, please send them my way. Do you want to discuss the other?
Yeah,
Okay.
please.
So I have requested in policy number 51 for the police department, I only have a $5,000 purchase order, which I can't exceed $5,000 without township board approval. When I took over in 2014, it was 3,500. I think it got increased in 2015 or 16 to 5,000. Here's the problem that I'm having with. Like, I just recently had to upgrade all of my AEDs. In order to do that, I have to get creative on how I purchase those AEDs. Where if I would have just purchased all 4 of them at once, I would have gotten a better price.
Yeah.
I'm still spending everything within my cost center. So I'm asking that you guys vote that I increase that from 5,000 to 10,000. Because I do have other things that I need to have replaced. We're on schedule right now to replace all of our patrol rifles. And you just get a better price if you can order them all at once.
Sure.
Instead of having to wait, purchase one month, purchase one the next month. So.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So yeah, that's what I'm asking.
Let's, do we want to,
Because it is a department policy, you guys are gonna have to make a motion, and then I will need a roll call vote as well.
okay. So we need a motion to increase the police department purchasing policy number 51.4, up to $10,000. I guess I'll make that motion. Do we have support? I'll support that. Thank you. Any discussion or questions?
It's been 11 years since a increase has been done. Obviously, we're all day-to-day working Americans. We know that inflation has struck very hard, so I think it's appropriate to increase that.
I agree. Yeah, I agree. Any other comment? All right, vote please.
Judy?
Yes,
Lori?
Yes.
Jonathan?
Yes.
Laura, yes.
that's a unanimous vote.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I appreciate it, and I see there's a lot of other things on the agenda tonight that you'll probably be asking me questions with the township HVAC, so I'll be talking to you later.
Thank you. Okay. Old business. Chowtown, Jeff.
I didn't request tripods, but I just have a few visuals. I'll try to kind of show each individually, and then I don't know where to put them. And then the actual site plan, just to give everyone kind of a view of what this looks like here. This here section on the other side of the river, this is the Sturgeon River, this is 68. And a couple pictures of what it looks like. But River's Edge right here, formerly known as Wilson's River's Edge, now River's Edge, great breakfast, great lunch. I'll put that in for everybody. And we have recently purchased that 3 months ago in adding to our development here. But we have a food court on this side that'll have 3 food trucks in it, some retail here, ice cream shop in another retail building, about 1,200 square feet on those. A butterfly and greenhouse, so it'll be 2/3 greenhouse for plants, that's what we do. And then a third that'll be a butterfly house, and then 12 cabins that'll be in the river behind Ken's Market. So it's a sizable piece of property. Right now, all we need with the MEDC is a letter from the township or the township supervisor for this commercial setup. That is the only thing that they're interested in and adding any funding to. That being said, you can send those there. My name is Jeff Jakeway. I am the owner with my wife, 3rd generation owner of North Star Gardens that started in 1839. My daughter, as someone said earlier, was a part of this whole development. In fact, ironically, we were on Wilson's River's Edge side, and I'm showing my family and my son what we would be hoping to do. I get a little emotional because that was 7 years ago. And so my daughter was 14, she's now 21. My wife and I don't need this. We have employees here, and we've been doing this for 28 years of our life. So my wife and I took over when we were 21 years old. And we have blue collared our way through it one day at a time, over and over and over and over. With some of my greatest employees in the back that manage a lot of our company, and my mom and other staff that's here, we can live out our days doing just North Star Gardens, Starboard Builders, River's Edge Restaurant. We have a landscape center in Gaylord, Michigan that we started back in 2010 in our gravel pit that's off Range Road. We don't need anything else. I am busy enough. We have 85 employees, 75% of which are residing in Sheboygan County, 28% of which resides in this township, Tuscarora Township. But my wife and I made a decision when we were probably 23 years old that we can take the fruits that has been planted, or corn that has been planted by generations prior to us, and live out our life, and we'd be fine, right? Or we can make a decision to plant. And that's how all of this has come about, from our Gaylord store to the gravel pit to most recently River's Edge Restaurant. We're again making that decision. We can, I'm never going to retire. I'll be hopefully 90 years old and still rolling the dice and trying to build something. I'm an entrepreneur. It's who I am. It's what I love to do. I never want that monopoly board taken away from me. I truly roll the dice every day, and I pass go, I get $200, I land on luxury tax, and I'm upset, right? And when I still play my son today, my life is no different than that. This year is a roll of the dice. I had someone, say, what about the MEDC grant if it doesn't go through? The MEDC grant is for $1.5 million. It's given to the state of Michigan. If it doesn't come here, it goes to Grand Rapids, Lansing, Detroit. Last year's budget was $30 million. It has been now cut to $6 million for this year. So this gets super competitive now with the whole state of Michigan. And so I've had people say, well, I don't want my tax dollars going to that. Then your tax dollars will go to Detroit or Lansing or Boyne City. It'll go somewhere else. It's never come to Tuscarora Township ever. Lindsay Clark, who is the head of this particular area for the MEDC, encouraged my wife and I, and Sharon Lang encouraged to go down this route. Because again, if it doesn't come here, it goes somewhere else. We've put this plan together of a blighted situation to provide 30 jobs, knowing that this may be in the running for a grant, that it gets 1099 to me. So if it comes in at 1.5 million, when the project is all done and we have a final occupancy, the money then comes due to the bank. I want to make sure it's clear to everybody. I do not have $5.7 million laying around. This is Nicole Drake at Citizens National Bank, that we put collateral on the table to make this a reality. So this isn't something that, these guys are Jeff Bezos coming to town and wanting to disturb our ducks and retirement plan. And as Jeff alluded to, it's not that at all. It's to truly bring 30 jobs to the area. And most important than that, to gain youth talents to come to this area. My daughter's a superstar, and she is. She's valedictorian in high school. She did put this plan together and got the highest honor at, I'll get a little emotional with this, at Northwood University in the Nagley Scholarship, and saved us 30 grand a year. And God bless her. She's going to get her MBA. And I'd really like her to have the opportunity to come back to our area and be a part of the downtown development, to be a part of putting annual planners out every year and make this place a better place. But it's a decision that has to be in a process that has to go. If we don't get the letter tonight and we don't get the grant, my wife and I got to make a decision on what direction we're going to go. And that's okay. Nothing's hurt. We're fine. I got plenty going on. It doesn't hurt us at all. My daughter's going to get absorbed by Hilton Hotels or Avis Rent-A-Car, and she's going to move to California, and she's going to do well, right? I'm trying to attract talent and other kids her age that want to come up north and say we can make this a reality. That's the whole premise. That's been the whole beginning of all this. In the meantime, took a blighted motel that truly I bought and had Chief Temple there the day we were going to tear the buildings down because people wouldn't leave there. And God bless them. I just, there's things coming up missing at our store that was ending at the motel, and it was just frustrating for me as a business owner. And but he came and they left, and we tore the place down. And so we got rid of a total of 23 rooms, and cabins are still there. We have 6 still there. 1 was already removed, and we're adding 12. So the density goes down for sure. We have been unanimously approved. John, thank you. You were a part of that. And again, not everyone in the room agrees with this. And I'm a little confused by it because I would like to challenge why we wouldn't approve a higher tax base, 30 more jobs, a blighted piece of property that gets rejuvenated. In the same way that we don't question what size beams are in this attic and trusses, because the Sheboygan County Building Code takes care of that, right? Or I can't get a building permit. Is in the same way that I have to get a permit from Eagle and from MDOT, which my engineers are working on currently right now, and we'll have things finalized. And we'll have all of our provisions put together. It's normal business, and that's how development happens. It's one of those things, though, as we walk through this, the grant allows us to move to a finish line quicker. We have 18 months to get it done if we do get the grant. Again, it gets 1099, like I said to you further, so I pay taxes on that as if it was money that comes in. So at the end of the day, at 40% tax rate at 1.5, it's a $900,000 grant of real money to make a project go or not. And if it doesn't, then we'll have to reset some things, is what will need to happen. And again, I'm okay with that. So this isn't a all or nothing or North Star is going away. We've been here a long time. We're not going anywhere. But this is an opportunity for our township to take something and make it beautiful. Do we have a traffic count for 2 weeks out of the year? I agree with that. And every county does. I think it's a moot point to understand that would this add more traffic? I mean, isn't that what we need to a certain degree to have thriving business and have people fill the church pews and put money in the offering and fill this building and support local everywhere? I mean, isn't that what we need? So I'm confused by why you wouldn't support this, giving those parameters. To the Roush family, we own acreage of evergreens. So yes, we won't have a fence. It'll be a live fence, trees, beautiful. As far as a screen, I've had comments of what about all the smoke, which is kind of laughable because I think there's 300 and some right across the river at Burt Lake State Park that blows over. But it will be all gas fire pits for the 12 that I have, so they are smokeless. So that was the beginning. We were going to do that anyhow. Some of this stuff that's just being said again about the contamination of the river, I'm all for that. I'm a biology major, psych minor. If I don't have healthy rivers and lakes, my crew does not have a job. And so you better believe it's number one in forefront for me. When these lakes get ruined, we're all in trouble. We're all in trouble. But to take my 12,000 square foot parking lot and make it the biggest deal of the project when we have tons of salt that comes down from the school and from probably at Pollard's going right to my store, and it goes right directly to the river. And that's not Pollard's fault. It's not the school's fault. It's the road commission. They have to salt the roads. And if the state does nothing about it, when we make a big deal on this side, it seems a little off to me. Nonetheless, it's what I do. It's what I do. I am going to take care of the river. Eagle's going to mandate it. In the same way, we're going to have great beams and trusses, so when you guys come there, it doesn't fall down on you. That's what they do. Those are the rules, the laws. That all being said, any questions that I didn't hit that someone, I'm hoping to hit everything. Okay, any questions from the board?
You said 18 months to completion from the date of the award?
From the date that we actually break ground, we'll set a date with MEDC. They allow extensions, but they're pretty tight on that. They want to see things that turn quickly. they don't want to see things go on for 10 years, right? So this helps accelerate that to get it to a finish line. In that being said, too, I named a few of our businesses. Starboard Builders is another one of our businesses that will be building all of this. In the same way it built our store, it built our Gaylord store. We build a lot of barn dominiums in the area. So we control our own timeline. Again, Jeff Miller from White Pines Electric. He's a good friend and a trusted ally in the electrical business. He does a great job with what he does. M&M Plumbing and Heating does a great job in what they do. I believe Jeff said he had 19 employees. M&M I think has 24. These are real jobs for our community. This isn't just the jobs that I'm creating. This has to get built. And so again, we have more, I guess, control. I don't rely on Reith and Riley. We do our own asphalt. I don't rely on our excavating from somebody. We do our own excavating. But I do rely on subs like Jeff and Electrical and like Scott with M&M Plumbing.
Were there any other questions that people raised that did not get answered?
Kim?
No, living on the dead end road of a customer restaurant there. When you, say about the traffic problem, is there anything that you can do to utilize the road behind you between you, Starbucks and Ken's?
Absolutely. So that's part of the traffic flow that takes you to the light.
Yeah, that's
Exactly.
what I'm wondering about, you know, with that.
Yep. No, so it is a dead end road. It does not go to the river. Matt from the road commission has clearly shown that the road that used to be there was the old main driveway. It goes between our store and Ken's Market. There are now cabins parked on the road, and River's Edge Restaurant, the road actually went right through it. So obviously none of those building permits could have been pulled without the road being abandoned. So again, we're working on getting the rest of it abandoned to the back of Ken's Market, because the road commission doesn't want it, Matt does not want it. It makes no sense. We take care of it. We've paved it. We've done nothing to involve the county in bringing any money into that on that side. And he's been told by his council to clean things up like this. Again, we're working through that.
Isn't it accurate as well that if you were to find out down the road that a development such as this had a negative impact on a community with their natural flow, MDOT would certainly come in and talk about traffic study and making some adjustments, because you are on some pretty big trunks for the roadway. So if that were to be the case, I think you would have an MDOT situation come in and assist to make sure you didn't have those clauses.
And yeah, Sharon, we're working with them now to avoid as much of that as possible, but do I anticipate having a 4-lane highway through Tuscarora Township? Guys, it's not happening. You know, it's just not happening. We don't have that here, nor do any of us want that here. This isn't that. This isn't a 450 condo unit high rise. It's just not. It's 12 units into retail. Yes, ma'am.
When folks renting the place in the 12 units, will they be entering that portion of the property from Wicks or from the road between unit homes?
They'll be doing, it can do either one. So they can come off 68 or they can come in between Kents. Both of which.
They won't be traveling to the back end of Ken's from the corner of Barbara.
I see what you're saying. Yeah, so they're, what she is asking, here's Ken's Market right here. Again, my existing store is here, 68 Sturgeon River. There will be no traffic coming here at all. Everything will be between Ken's and my existing store and 68 that'll come into it. That's the only way they'll come through. Yeah. So, and you have a question before that? Or that was your only one? Okay, you spurred something and I lost it. I'm getting older, so my misses things here and there. But, the 12 cabins. And so some people have made the comment of, we don't want any more short-term housing. And MEDC has made this also. They're not giving money to short-term housing right now. They're giving money to rehabilitation of the commercial district because of the job promotion. And I fully am for that. But these 12 cabins, if you really think about it, if you really want your downtown back, these 12 cabins will be VRBO'd. And so people will be able to go on VRBO and say, we want to be in the river, we want to be here, which then allows some of these that bought these as investments, and unfortunately, they won't rent them out as much. They don't rent them out as much, they won't make their payments, they won't make their payments, they're going to put them back on the market. So single-family housing can then become available, and people can move back into the area. So I've heard that are saying that it doesn't quite make sense to me because I'm putting 12 VRBOs on the market. It is strictly for VRBO, strictly for. This is not a housing development for workforce housing. This is strictly VRBO. People come, grandkids want to stay in a tent and the grandparents don't. We will have a place for them to come and be warm and cozy and not need a chiropractor the next morning. But it will hurt the downtown area of VRBOs. It just will, because there'll be 12 more that's on the market. And those will have to make a decision. Like I said, do they stay or do they sell them? And then they go back in the market as, again, housing for families. This is what we need in a community. So.
Okay, well, I appreciate the information. Yes.
Just as a school board member, in the lights, the question was brought up earlier, will the tax base still stay the same? You and I had talked about that. Can you get some input on how that will help our school?
Absolutely. So, moving forward, again, the 5.7 million, obviously, you know that there's food trucks, there's furniture, there's site work, there's things that don't get appraised. I can muck that all out of Morrow, spend $800,000, fill it full of sand, call the appraiser and say, hey, I think it's worth $800,000 more. And he's going to look at it and be like, it's still the same piece of land. So although it's 5.7, understand it's not 5.7 of taxable value. And I think that's gotten lost. And this is widely known across the board from any development. So of course, when it comes in and gets appraised in SEV, but it'll be a lot more than what's there now. This abatement that went through, the MEDC needs township, what's the word I'm looking for? Thank you, Don. Township contribution in order to have it be on the agenda for them to be in the running for this grant. Okay, so we've run through all this, and Sherman did start about two and a half years ago and talking some of this stuff through. But right now, the SAV of the property is probably $250,000, I would say. So I mean, for it to do nothing right now, the township and the school will get this amount of money forever and ever and ever if I do nothing. The abatement's for 10 years, okay? So in 10 years, it now goes to the new level for the township. So, and I think, Trudy, you said it's 1,700 currently right now. So it's 1,700, and for 10 years, the township will still get 1,700. So I've heard people say that, well, you're taking money. No, if we don't do this, they'll still get their $1,700 if we do nothing there. The abatement's for 10 years, which it's now 9 years since it's been signed, that again, it will again reset to the new value, the SEV of the property. So it's still, the township still gets $1,700. I'm trying to bring something to the community that makes sense for the community. And I think some people think abatements and they think that we got something for free. I'm still paying the same taxes I'm paying now. The abatement allows the project to thrive, which is what we want. We don't want someone to come into any one of these areas. Monty Black would be one with the laundromat. You want to make sure he survives. If there's a closed sign on the door, that didn't do us any good at all. But it takes a community to understand what that is. It takes a community to understand if we don't get the grant here for this project, it goes to Lansing or Detroit. And I did the calculation. I think it was like $6.37 per Michigander if I get this. If anyone's upset about that, I will gladly bring a checkbook and write you your $6.70 back. Honestly, if you're that disappointed that your tax dollars went to your township. The tax revenue that the township gets, again, the school immediately, but again, over that 10 year, after 10 years, goes on forever and ever. And that's the thing as a developer that I've got to be careful of. And I know there's a lot of you in the room that understand this. This can't get to where it's out of control tax-wise, or I did my daughter no good at all. And she may not be able to afford to keep it just based on the tax value. So I've got to make sure I'm smart in making sure this goes together. But I know there's going to be a lot of site work that's there. Granted, I'm doing the site work, but it still costs money. I mean, Jay's still got to jump in the truck. My brother still has to run the excavator. Those are big toys that cost big money. And so it's part of that $5.7 million project's total cost.
I just wanted to make sure that you're aware that the LPA is supporting this, but we do support this project. We do.
We just want to make sure that we're working with Eagle to make sure that there's not salts going into the water. Your current plan may allow that to happen. We just want to make sure we're protecting the waters.
And Don, I appreciate that. I know Jim's called me also from the Mullet Lake Preservation Association. Am I saying that right, Jim?
Yep.
And him and I talked in extensively on this same project. But again, that's Eagle's responsibility, and I know you're the president of it, but Eagle's gonna have the final say, right? They're gonna, they know what's there in the same way that the Sheboygan County building code knows what's in these rafters to keep us all safe, right? So, and again, that's my life too. I want to protect the same lakes and rivers that we all enjoy, and I want my kids and my grandkids who aren't even here yet to enjoy.
Couple questions. So this, because we do not have our own master plan, it's expired. So this will, in reading through the requirements, I just wanted to make sure that this will meet the Sheboygan County master plan, which, has that been finalized?
Well, they're going to start working on it, I believe in January this month.
Okay. Secondly, 30 jobs. Are they full-time, part-time, seasonal? What are you anticipating?
Yeah, so the COVID kind of messed things up, right? We anticipated having our coffee shop and our gift shop open year round, and then COVID came, and I had people with sniffles, kind of like what I have tonight, and didn't come to work the next day. It was very difficult, and I didn't blame them, but it was a very tough time for my wife and I to figure this out. Once this is up and rolling, we intend to open everything up. We'll have 12 cabins there. People will be coming to stay there. They can come get coffee in the morning. They can get dinner at night. Probably not much ice cream in the wintertime, but we'll figure that out. And probably not many butterflies. So there's different things. It definitely slows down in the wintertime in northern Michigan. But we intend to make sure that we keep people working. The cabins being cleaned, obviously the people doing prep and food. And these aren't just food trucks, food trailers. These are old-fashioned, vintage, retro 1970s trucks that are beautiful. And it's going to be super unique. When you walk in there, you're going to say, wow. We went to one when my family went on vacation to Wisconsin Dells. If anyone's been there, it's pretty, crazy place, right? Everything's oversized, and they have this place called the Grateful Shed. And that's where we got the idea. That was about 6 years ago. And this indoor food court. And but it was super unique, Volkswagen Bug, flip top, just fun, not just your normal food truck trailer that'll be on the inside. But they'll be working there as well as the retail stores, which will sell a lot of Northern Michigan stuff, Burt Lake, Mold Lake, all the stuff that we have here, as well as Indian River, and as well as our trout town up there.
So we anticipate that maybe some of your retail will be open year round.
I plan to open all of it year round. Now, again, we'll have videos, and yes, I said it. And if COVID happens again, I shut down. Don't knock my door down. I'm doing what I can, right? And I think the two employees there in the back there, Dave's been with me for literally decades now. He started when he was 18 years old with me, straight out of high school, and he is my main guy. And I keep him busy. And any of my employees, if even Lacey Green, who we just bought River's Edge Restaurant, great breakfast, great lunch. She just excellent family and great people. And don't go there because we own it. Man, those people are outstanding. There's 21 of them. So when we first went to buy that, I was buying it sight unseen, book unseen. I just wanted the land so that if we did this, I didn't have to look across at something I didn't want to look across at. And when I met the Green family, and they were so passionate about what they do, and they heard our vision and said, we'd really like to keep this rolling. And I'm like, if all 21 of you want to stay, I'll keep this rolling. And they've committed to me, and loyalty is a big deal to me. That 7-letter word is super important, and they've done that already. And is it going to make money? If it makes 20 grand a year, I'll be lucky. It's just restaurant business is here. And that may sound like 20 grand's a lot of money, but not in an investment world. It's just, I probably could have put money in a CD and made a lot more, right? And so, but it's tough. And a lot of you that have restaurant, experience know this. And with 21 employees saved in this Tuscarora Township, that really ought to be applauded that someone would come and do that. And I don't need an applause, but this is the same thing in this. And what Jeff said about the red carpet being rolled out, I've been confused on why we have any throwback on this, given how we presented this and put this together. And I'm trying my best to make this work for everybody. And Trudy Mays and I met a few times over coffee, so we get to know each other and figure this out for our township and for our community. It's not, sometimes it gets to this us and them thing, and it's confusing to me. And then the people like Lacey and Johnny Green get caught in the quagmire of it, and they gotta leave, and they gotta go somewhere else. Because we all bickered over things that, I call it majoring in the minors. We need to start majoring in the majors, and part of that is focusing on jobs and real lives that we have here in Tuscarora Township.
Well, I agree, and I think we've heard a lot of questions and concerns tonight, and I think you answered a lot of questions. You and I have spent a lot of time. Jonathan was in on a meeting a week or so ago. There's a lot of misinformation out there, a lot of speculation. Rumors, yeah, exactly. And so when I ask you what your dream is, that's just what I mean. What is your dream? Because we all know it takes baby steps to achieve the dream. So again, I'm not holding you to something. I just want to help me see the vision and maybe help a few others see the vision as well. And again, just so that, and I've spent a lot of time reading and chatting back and forth by email today with Lindsay, and she wasn't able to come here tonight, but again, I'm trying to fit you into the different slots. This is one of perhaps many grants that may be available. Am I understanding that correctly?
I don't know if many grants, but there'd be a few buckets that it could go.
Okay, thank you. Yeah. So, and one of the things and this is in the board packet for anyone who's interested or has it pulled up, under bullet point 6, the most competitive proposals will include a financial contribution from the local unit of government. And that was clarified that is the abatement that was granted in 2024. And so this letter of support, and there is no financial contribution, additional financial contribution by the township. There's no fallback on the township. Heaven forbid.
No liability to the township.
Something happened. And those were questions that I felt compelled to ask. And I was assured by our legal counsel as well. So, I think, just a question that I have, knowing your background, there's an awful lot of hardscape. Are you gonna do something with rain gardens?
Absolutely. So both rain gardens and plants that's what we do. So it's
I just think it's a great way for you to
display what we do. Absolutely. Yeah. 100%.
Okay. And again, I agree with the LPA. We've just come through that terrible winter storm. The Sturgeon River took a beating, as did all of our lakes and rivers, with debris, trees. I think it's imperative. We're not making any more fresh water. And we have to do everything we can to protect what we have.
And the Eagle's in charge of that.
Yeah, exactly. And to that end, do you know the time frame with all these permitting? Because time is of the essence, and I appreciate that. And I will eat my fair share of that elephant because we were researching answers. So do you know what, you have to get a letter back to planning and zoning, accepting their conditions, and then what is the time frame on getting your permitting, your application?
First and foremost is a letter from you, my township supervisor. Mm-hmm. Then that goes to the MEDC. The MEDC then vets it, puts it up against other complex situations like you see in front of you in other counties and other districts to see if it even wins or it doesn't go anywhere. I'm going to reset it at that point, right? So this is all based on getting the grant and how we're moving forward. So I won't be able to get a bank loan without it because it doesn't meet their criteria. So Nicole Drake's been very clear on that also, which is why Sharon Lang and Lindsay said, hey, this is a great project to at least go down this alleyway. And it's been 2 years. So this has been a long trip. And they let me know it would be. And I'm okay. Like you said, I'm not, maybe there's moments I was frustrated, let's be honest. But all in all, it's going at the pace that it needs to go.
Although I would add, as far as Eagle goes, and I'm sorry, just a professional standpoint coming in,
once you do have the ability to get into the actual queue of the MEC, when your letter perhaps matches the one that we submitted from the EDC, you can go back to Eagle for phase ones and twos. Eagle does have some funding that will help make them aware of the program and the project that's happening. So there is a chance there for the project to then start going to those agencies and getting things lined up. If they know that it's serious, they're getting their boxes checked, and then we can proceed with some of those tricky things that really need to be done, especially on Eagle's side. And we find really in Sheboygan County, Eagle out of the Gaylord office, especially the downfield coordinator, Julie Lowe, is fantastic. She worked in Sheboygan County for a very long time early in her career. She's a young woman. She comes up here frequently, and she was working on another project we have in Sheboygan, and I can tell you, they move faster than any other agency we worked with, and a lot of it was Julie Lowe and her team. So, and I know that Tom Johnson works with Julie a lot and with us, and so he would speak to her and vouch for that as well. So Eagle's not the big air clog in the drain that it used to be. They're really doing a good job for our small communities up here.
Trudy, do you need help with writing a letter?
No.
Okay. I didn't know if there was certain criteria that she needs to put in it or just, okay.
No, we reviewed that with Lindsay. It's a very brief letter,
Okay.
so.
So,
And
so that's something that maybe you could get done if you guys decide tonight to do that, like soon.
yes. Questions, all right, so, board, do we have any questions? Yeah.
No, I think that the community came up with a lot of great questions. You came up with a lot of information.
So, the question is to request the board, a motion to approve the supervisor to write a letter. And again, this letter is important that it comes from the board. On behalf of the Board of Trustees in support of the North Star project. Now, the question becomes, does it pend all permits or approved, a letter of support with approved per the conditions of planning and zoning? Right. So, to restate, motion for the board to approve the supervisor to write a letter of support on behalf of the Board of Trustees, pending receipt or approved conditions of planning and zoning.
So you, at this stage, and Lindsay will clarify for you, does not require that. That's a natural portion of this process. All they simply needed from you and I in that first line item, specific to the RAP program, so you have to specifically.
Yes, we have to state that it's specific to
And
RAP.
And so it's literally 2 or 3 sentences.
Exactly.
As I submitted, and in my capacity, they are not requesting you have that in there. It's nowhere in that RAP that's in your agenda this evening. It's right on page 4, that's in your own agenda pack. I don't know if they're asking in the first item.
And just to that board, obviously, if I get the grant, you send a 3-sentence letter and I get the grant, I still can't pull a permit if I don't have all those things met. So we're regurgitating again what a municipality already has under control.
Okay, all right.
If the motion hasn't been stated yet, I'd like to motion that the board allow the supervisor to write a letter in support to the MEDC on behalf of Trout Town. I think it's kind of, to state that contingent on permitting or approval from planning commission. To me, this is just a approval that we support this project. I think Mr. Jakely is perfectly capable of making sure his T's are crossed and his I's are dotted for any permitting, and I don't think that's in our avenue to state. So my motion is we approve Mr. Jake, or approve supervisor to write the letter to MEDC in support of Trouttown.
Any other discussion by the board?
No, I think, Mr. Jakeway, thank you for investing in this community. I think it's much needed. I've got little kids that I want to stick around here, and grandkids and to come. And there's a reason why I stayed here. This is a beautiful community, and I support it all the way.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Next item on the agenda is the trustee applicants and interview. Do we have any questions for our applicants? We've all had plenty of time to review these.
I've got a couple questions.
Okay, go ahead.
Are you gonna ask them one by one?
Yeah, I guess we could have the four applicants, line up near the podium.
I've never been in one before.
Careful about shot.
Is Miss McComb in the audience?
No.
Did she withdraw her application?
She did not.
She said,
Did not hear from her. I sent emails last night and did not hear today, so.
well, for the three that are here, we thank you. Thank you for your stepping up and getting involved. I guess Ms. Cole, if you want to go first. Everybody. I guess first off, just kind of tell us about yourself. You attend meetings on behalf of the Parks Commission, but for the rest of those that don't know you.
I moved up here when I was a year old, so I've lived here for 56 years. I graduated from Middle Lake Schools. All three of my children graduated from Middle Lake Schools. I have my oldest grandson graduated from Middle Lake Schools this year as one of the 3 valedictorians. This community is very near and dear to my heart. I think I've watched it grow. I've watched it progress. I do not know everything. I do not know all of the answers. There are a lot of things I don't know, but I'm willing to learn and to find out. I stepped out of my comfort zone this year. I worked at the school for the last 4.5 years, and I started a new job at a medical office, and I've never done that before. But it's an amazing, I guess I just want you to know, I'm willing to learn. I do not know everything. I've had people ask me why I would be running for it because there are things that I don't know. Well, to me, that's how you evolve, is to learn something new every single day. Just like I learned why the green dots is named the green dots. I'm still learning, as I think we all are.
Does anybody else have
Oh,
questions?
sorry. I'm sorry. I get a little bit nervous when there's so many people. Oh my God.
So I have 3 questions for each of you. Some of them were kind of answered on the application, but there's only 2 short lines to write answers on. So my first question is what are your goals and ambitions to better serve this community if appointed?
I'd like us to see us all come together as a community like we were when I was a kid. Everybody working together and like we did during the ice storm. Instead of fighting each other, I'd like to see us all come together.
My second question, which for the 3 of you, I only state it once. Obviously, for everybody that knows me knows that public safety is near and dear to my heart. So my question is what's your stance on the police department, and will you support future allocations for improvements and equipment?
Absolutely, I would support it. We need this police department. I think they do an amazing job. And I appreciate everything they do.
And then my third question, if appointed, are you planning to seek election in November 2026? This seat will be held from time of appointment until the next general election in 2026.
At this point in time, yes. I have no idea what's going to happen in the future, but that is my intention.
Very good, John. Yep, keep going.
My name's Tom Kraut, and been a resident since 2015. Full-time resident since 2018. Retired from IBM after almost 30 years. I managed project teams around the world. I was going through some paperwork today and reminding myself that I have a patent from a piece of technology we developed, which would be laughable today if I were to describe it. But so that's essentially who I am. And what was the second question?
So the first question, what are your goals, ambitions to better serve this community if appointed?
I'll do whatever I'm asked to. I will talk to people, find out what the issues are, attend meetings like this, listen, and do my best to work with your community to make it happen.
Second question, what is your stance on the police department and will you support future allocations for improvements equipment?
I'm a strong supporter of the police department. I worked my first job out of college in 1973. Actually, I was a polygraph examiner. I worked closely with law enforcement and corporations in the New York City and northern New Jersey area. And so I've got a lot of respect for them. I've worked with them a lot. And anything I can do to help, I certainly will.
And the third question, if appointed, are you planning to seek election in November of 2026?
More than likely, yes.
Anything else you'd like to add?
Thanks for the opportunity.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. And Mr.
Hi, I'm Jan Delahaye. I started coming up here. One of the first places that I remember staying was at the old hotel, playing putt-putt golf in the front yard with my sister. We spent a lot of vacations up here. My dad was a UAW president. They liked it here better than over at Black Lake. I absolutely agree with them. As much as I like Black Lake, I like this better. We stayed at Geary Point in a place called Idiot's Delight. When short-term rentals weren't a bad thing. In 2014, my mom died and left the home that she had built with my father, and then my grandparents also lived in part-time. In 2017, I moved up here permanently. I have almost 40 years of accounting experience. I sat previously on the board as the deputy clerk and as the treasurer when Bobby resigned. I am familiar with the BSA accounting system. I think if it was allocated to me or delegated to me, I could be helpful in getting things done and cleaning things up. I know that there's been a lot of work done toward that, but I know how big a mess that you were left. And some of that is long outstanding stuff that needs to be addressed. So my goal would be to help with that and to provide additional communication with the community about what we're trying to accomplish, prioritizing goals, project managing, things that need to be done and making sure that we have the resources to do it and set up our employees for success. On the second point, I will say that I have a horrible bias for Illinois. Stepson is a police officer who is going to retire next year. I don't know how that happened. He is with the Tampa Police Force, and I have a very close personal friend who's a retired police officer. So I am very supportive of law enforcement. It's why we get to live where we live, only superseded by the military that are out there in foreign lands making sure we're safe. When it comes to running for office, I would say while I tend to plan 3 to 5 years out, I do not have any expectation about whether I would or would not run in November. It would entirely depend on my ability to be successful in moving things forward for the township and for this team. Thank you.
So it's obviously, So there's obviously been tremendous support submitted through email for both Mr. Crow and Ms. Delay. Just trying to organize sections here.
I have one last question for each of the candidates. Given our social media in today's world, I was made aware of a comment that we were vindictive bitches. And I know we have a policy in this township about social media postings. And there's an awful lot of anonymous postings saying very untrue, nasty things. I'd like each of the candidates to address their opinion on how a statement such as being a vindictive bitch can help this township. You can stand in your place and state it, or you
I'm
can
gonna go
come to.
first. And I'm gonna make some people uncomfortable and I'll take that. This was a postcard that was sent out by the slate of candidates that ran, accusing me at some level of stealing. My job, my license, my livelihood depends on that not happening. Now, this was anonymous too. So I'm here anyway. I'm willing to help anyway, and I don't hold this against anyone because we don't know who did it. But social media is not the only place that people drop unfair bombs about things that happen. And so that's what I got to say. You can ask your question.
I can attest to that because
Kim, you're not an applicant, but I appreciate your statement. Mr. Powell?
I feel like I'm at a disadvantage because I'm not aware of a lot of the material that you're talking about, or postcards or whatever. So I really have no comment on it. I don't think there's any case for that. But, personally, I'm not aware of the situation.
Thank you. You're fine. You're fine.
Oh, sorry. It was my daughter. I
I
thought I shut it off. I guess I don't know how. It's terrible. Again, I would like to see us come together as a community like we were when I was growing up here, when I could not do something. I might not really know who you are, but if I did something, my mom and dad would find it out because somebody was telling them. Not to get me in trouble, because we cared. Because it takes a village, and we are a village, and we need to come together again as a village. It takes a village to raise kids. It takes a village to come together, and saying mean and nasty things about people. The ice storm showed me that we can come together as a village again. But then it stopped, and we're back to it. And it just really breaks my heart because that's not what I grew up with. That is not the community, the town that I grew up in. And I had some nasty things said to me that I shouldn't be applying for a trustee because I didn't know what a J1 was. Okay, I don't know everything, but I'm willing to learn. I can't say I have these degrees and how to do all this stuff because I don't, but I am willing to learn. And I get it. Other people are more experienced. They're probably better equipped to do it, I guess. I don't know. And I didn't have letters of support because I didn't know that's what I was supposed to do. I'm all new to this, just like the Parks Commission. There's no place, as far as I'm concerned, for mean and nasty things being said about something. You don't have to agree with what they say, but you have to be nice. When I worked at the school, this is what I told the kids. You don't have to be friends with everybody, but you have to be nice. It doesn't cost anything to be kind.
Thank you.
Sorry.
At the last, at our December meeting, at our December meeting, we talked about having a special meeting to make the appointment. Board, are you ready to proceed this evening, or do you wish to have a special meeting?
I'd like to make the motion to have a special meeting set for next week sometime to review.
So the motion is for a special meeting next week. Is there support for that? Yeah, well, but the motion is to, do we want a special meeting? If there's no support, it dies. If there is support, we'll find a date. No support? Motion dies. Motion to appoint Tom Prout as trustee for the Tuscarora Township Board of Trustees. Okay, do we have support?
I'll support that.
Discussion? And do we have, motion? We'll have to do a voice vote, please. Yes, ma'am, I'm sorry, it's late, it's past my bedtime.
Rudy,
Yes.
Lori,
Yes.
Jonathan,
No,
Laura, yes.
Motion carries. Mr. Prout, welcome to the board.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Look forward to working with you. All right. Fireworks. Do we need I'm sorry. Stacy, you serve as a co-chair for our Parks Commission. We can't lose you. We can't. Yeah. You're very important. Yeah. Does anybody need a bathroom break? We've been going at this for some time.